This podcast has been brought to you by SeekersGuidance, the global Islamic seminary. Help us spread the light of prophetic guidance to millions around the world by becoming a monthly supporter. Make a small donation at SeekersGuidance.org/donate. For as little as $10 a month, you can help people find life-changing guidance.
The second question is, what is religion? Right? Religion. Right? And we're in a secular age. Many people embrace the conception of religion being the opium of the people. Right? And as Shaykh Abdul Hakim Murad flipped, he said, opium is the religion of the people or the masses, right? And whether that be, opium or drugs, but also addictions are drugs, right? And people, if you don't have religion, you need something to be attached to. And people are addicted to video games, they're addicted to these highly addictive TV series, etc., which are built upon addictiveness. But the human being has the capacity for addiction, for strong, unbreakable attachment, because you're created to be attached. You're created to be addicted. But you're created not to be addicted to the fleeting and worthless. You're created to be with God. Right? Religion addresses the human being who is lost. إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. Truly, the human is indeed in loss. If you think about the human condition, it is loss. Religion tells you what to do in this life to evade utter loss. What is religion? Right? Religion is not a set of cultural norms. It's not an identity. It is not a group that you ascribe to. We are the Muslims. Right? We are a political group, a social group. We are a community. And all those are true. You identify as a Muslim, you're part of a community. You may be a political group that stands up not only for your community's rights, but stands up for what is true and right and stands against what is wrong with principle and dignity. But that's not religion. Those are aspects, consequent aspects of religion. What is religion? Religion is an answer to the fundamental question. فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? Where are you headed? The human being born on this plane of life is lost. What do I do? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of divine mercy, has sent prophets from the beginning of human time with a call of truth to answer the fundamental questions of life. Religion is defined as being divine guidance, revealed to prophets, calling those of intellect to choose the good towards the eternal good. Right? Religion, and we're talking about true religion, is divine guidance. A believer should be clear. Why do I believe? Because this is capital T truth. Right? It's very important to ground our faith commitment, our iman itself, and the consequence of our iman, which is the religious practices that we uphold, and the moral compass by which we make our life choices. We don't make them as as a burden that arises out of our identity. I am Muslim, therefore I must A, B, and C. No, because we believe in a truth. And that's very important. That's why seeking knowledge is important. The knowledge that gives you certainty about the truth of what the prophets have come with. That is the invitation of the Quran. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. This is the book in which there is no doubt. This is the book of capital T truth. Had it been from other than God, they would have found within it much dispute, much differing, much inconsistency. Right? This is divine guidance. It's provable through the inimitability of the Quran, through the truth of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, through the coherence of its guidance, through the excellence of what it calls to, and through many other things. It is exemplified by the prophets, and it calls to good. But it calls us to make choices, to choose what is of benefit in this life, but to choose our eternal good in the next life. But those choices make sense if we are sure of what makes us Muslim. How do we find that out? There's a personal journey of realizing the truth of religion, which is connect to the Book of Allah. Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. This is the book in which there is no doubt, regarding which there is no doubt. Huda, complete guidance. لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, for those seeking mindfulness. So there's a personal journey which is find out, open the Quran, recite it, and reflect. How do we know the truth of religion? Read with a heart seeking truth, guidance, and good, the life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. And nothing and nobody can compare to this great man. Nothing. And at Seekers, for example, we have some excellent classes on the biography of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. And very often, listening to something attentively is even more beneficial than merely reading it. And of the biographies in English, we would recommend Martin Lings's biography. And there's many others, and we have answers explaining that. But also learn about the teachings of Islam. Take a course on Islamic beliefs. See the consistency, clarity, and coherence of how a believer views reality, life, and everything. Learn about how we worship God, how we live a God-conscious life. And you'll see nothing compares to this. Right? That is religion. What is religion about? وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. They've been commanded only that they be devoted to God, making their life sincerely for His sake alone. It is to fulfill your human potential, to find true joy. So that is a little bit of what we can mention about what is religion. Religion is what the prophets have come with. Right? Everyone has a notion of a fall. Now, people, if you look in general, everybody, people like criticizing celebrity culture and this and that, but the human being has been created with an inclination towards exemplars, people to look up to. That's why even growing up, we have people we look up to. It might be a parent, it might be one of your uncles or aunts, it might be a teacher, it might be a sports star. Embarrassingly, when I was in high school in Spain, my one wall of my room was all posters of Imran Khan. I went over that phase at some point, but there's all of us have someone we look up to, and sometimes it's irrational, or usually is. But there are exemplars that in this life, they are exemplars who have been sent by God, and they embody the fullest potential of what it means to be a human being. And they came with a call, which is وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى. The next life is better for you than this life. مَا عِنْدَكُمْ يَنْفَدْ. What is with you shall perish. وَمَا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ بَاقٍ. And what is with God is everlasting.
Thank you for listening. This podcast was brought to you by Seekers Guidance, the Global Islamic Seminary. Visit SeekersGuidance.org to access reliable Islamic knowledge taught by qualified teachers. We offer a wide range of courses, podcasts, articles, and a world-class answer service. Support us in spreading free, reliable Islamic knowledge to millions around the world by becoming a monthly supporter. Visit SeekersGuidance.org/donate and make a small monthly commitment today. Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Whoever guides someone to goodness will have a similar reward." So don't forget to share this podcast and spread prophetic guidance.